Hello, everybody out there in the internet. I'm TKKNMSTR, joined by
RPG Maniac 05
and Trioptical.
So we are going to give our gut reactions to Microsoft's press briefing for E3 2014 that we just watched, and just go down the list of what they announced item by item. So yeah, first on the list, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
To the shock of no one.
Yep, exactly. Although, I think it was sort of smart. It did look really good. And since a lot of people don't know what next gen looks like yet, they're likely to think, "Oh my gosh, Xbox One looks so good."
I don't know, Trioptical. I wasn't exactly blown away when I saw that.
I think
I was just like, "Oh, it looks good," but then I was like, the other part of my brain has played Call of Duty, so it's like, "Oh, it looks like Call of Duty. It looks like a shooter,"
But
and then I just tuned it out.
Like, it's the graphic impact, and then the people who like Call of Duty, they don't really care about the other part because it's like, "Oh, it's Call of Duty." So, in their minds, the main Call of Duty fan is the person who played Ghost last, right? And maybe hasn't, even if they had the next gen version, looking at that compared to Ghost, that looked really amazing.
It did look.
Having not played Ghost, I will take your word for it.
Just, Ghost looked like a slightly better looking version of whatever the one before it was. Nobody.
I love how we can never remember the order.
Other Call of Duty.
It's like the one before that one.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. It's just the one before that one.
They're all the same.
So, Trioptical, will you be getting it?
Well, I was already going to be getting it because I have mainstream friends. Friends that I must play with.
Did anything from the trailer wow you at all? I mean, the demo.
Yeah, like it had sort of a filmic quality. It looks.
I thought it was weird that it had Sentinels from the Matrix. I was like, whoa, I was expecting that.
I saw that and I thought in my mind that, yep, the co-op is going to be Call of Duty versus robots. They've done zombies, they've done aliens, it's robots now.
It was inevitable.
Exactly.
Alright, next we had Nürburgring as a track being introduced to Forza 5 and then showing Forza Horizon 2, which comes out September 30th.
I should point out that Nürburgring is the name of a birth control.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
Not the same.
I'm just saying.
It'll be free to everyone now. Anyway.
But yeah.
So, well, okay, just as a general note about most of the press conference, was not that exciting. I think we expected a lot more. If you listen to our pre-E3.
I agree. Like, the format, I don't think was very helpful because it was like some games would be like, okay, here's a trailer. Some games would be like, okay, here's like a really short demo, but it wasn't like enough of a vertical slice to be like, let me get a glimpse into like how this game is like playing. Which was very much the case with the next game they showed, which was Evolve, which was just like, oh, here's a trailer. It's like, what? That's it?
Yeah.
So, I like that they added Cthulhu to it. So, that's gonna be awesome.
Oh, also RPG, when they showed the classes, only one of us can be the robot, so I call support class. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm gonna probably be the monster most of the time anyway. That'll learn you.
RPG can be the guy who just wants to rip us apart.
And then I'm not sure about the streams that you guys watched, but the one I was watching, it had like little things on the bottom where it was like exclusive beta, DLC first on Xbox One. So
I think that was the Microsoft press conference itself.
Yeah,
the
I think
official
it's their news ticker or something.
Yeah, their official trailer, or not trailer, the stream that they're sending to all the other streams to stream to everyone else, had those things at the bottom. And so it was sort of an ongoing theme throughout the show, exclusive DLC, which is not exciting, I think. It's the kind of exclusive that makes the fans of the games upset.
They broke my wishes, or they killed my dreams or whatever, because that was one of my wishes, so they killed my dream.
Oh, that's right.
Thanks, Microsoft.
So sad.
They're the dream killer.
Alright, and then, unless anybody else has anything to add about Evolve, the next game was Assassin's Creed Unity.
Now, Well, I'm kind of on the Assassin's Creed series as of 3, but the whole idea of co-op assassination was kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
So much chilling together.
I'm wondering what it will be like in real life, because for the Division, which they showed later on, it was very, you know how the scripted game chatter is always kind of weird, but with Assassin's Creed they just had none, and so it fits the sort of feel of that world. Oh, it's very, you know, these guys are assassins, so they're not chattering along as they're going, oh, we're in the highway, we're in the highway, oh, there's a guy over there, oh, there's two, oh man, that was awesome, you got him.
Could you imagine? It'd be hilarious
if
the enemies can like eavesdrop on you too. It's like they're up there.
Who's talking?
It's like I can hear them.
But like, it just looked very, you know, precision and like, a group of highly trained assassins going through this building, and like, is the real game gonna feel like that? Who knows?
One can only hope.
Did they have a release date for that when they showed it?
I don't think so. But I mean,
I don't think they did. They didn't type it when I was typing. So
I mean, they have a conference later on, so if
good point.
They'll probably do it at theirs.
And then next game shown was Dragon Age Inquisition, a short little trailer with premiere content first on Xbox.
I mean, it's Dragon Age. I'm probably gonna buy it anyway, despite not liking the series, because that's what I do. But it did look interesting. It seems like they changed the battle system again. So
that's all there is to say about that.
Basically, it's like I'm not really sure what else they have going on there.
Yeah, we might see more at the EA conference. And then after that, they showed a pretty funny trailer for Sunset Overdrive. The way it starts out, anyway.
Yeah.
I love Insomniac.
Good dig.
But, kind of makes me sad that it's only on the Xbox. Although, now I'm excited for the next Ratchet and Clank game, which they better make. So, yeah. So there's that. I mean, I wasn't, like, all that impressed by I'm assuming that was an actual demo that they were playing, so...
Yep.
Yeah, the context of the story and everything involved, I was just like, that's okay.
Does it remind you of Jet Set?
The movement does, but I couldn't get behind we're going to just save the city and
it's just
8-player co-op, save the city. It was just... Yeah,
more shooters than Jet Set for you?
It was like a lot of excuse plot, I guess, as RPG would say. Or, here's your character and here's what you're doing. Go have fun.
It's like, really, you're just there to blow stuff up with cool weapons. Why bother? But yeah, I'm glad Insomniac is getting the chance to work on other consoles, but yeah, they just make sure they come back to... Just saying.
We made you. We made.
And then we had one announcement that had a really cool announcement, and then it ended with, like, finally, I wish they would do more of this, was the Dead Rising 3 ridiculous name DLC, I can't remember. With, like,
Super
a ton
Dead
of
Rising
stuff.
3, something edition EX.
It was ridiculous.
Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper.
It was funny, too, because they're, like, taking a dig at their own, like, naming conventions for Street Fighter, which is hilarious.
Is that what it was? I thought it was serious.
I think it was just like their general thing, because they've done it for their other fighting games too.
So what is that? It's just 4-player co-op.
I think it's like just arcade style
a ton
co-op.
Of everything added in it. Looks like
just
and
like
then
costumes and
co-op added in as well.
So there
and
wasn't
it's available
co-op.
now.
There wasn't co-op in the original.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'd have to ask Gamer if he hasn't.
I don't think he's played it though.
He's played it.
Kind of bitter on the whole Xbox One thing.
Alright, and then Harmonix came out and they showed Disney Fantasia Music Evolved. Did they give a date for this?
They said both would be in the fall.
Okay, because Dance Central Spotlight was September, because I typed it out next to it.
Okay.
I was only half paying attention at this point. I had to check on, so.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was a Kinect game at the press conference, but they didn't mention Kinect at all. They just said, "Oh, your favorite dance franchise," and then it evolved, and their music game, and you'll be able to download the music. Hey, the demo part, I think that was smart. They're learning. Yeah, that was killed the show once again. No matter how fun it is at home, it's not fun to watch
a fake family.
Yeah, just like other people playing it, really.
Yeah. So, yay for that at least.
And then moving on from that, or those two, we had Fable Legends, which is where my stream crapped out, so I only got to see like the part where they were attacking something, and then they froze it and killed it, and like, yeah, combat stuff.
They're also showing off like some play as a villain thing in the multiplayer as well.
Yeah.
Where you kind of like it's like a set, it's kind of like, it seems like it's like semi-tower defense for the villain player person. But, yeah, the co-op people can kind of just run through gauntlet style, killing stuff. So, that's,
It's D&D, digital, in real time, and you can be the dungeon master, and you just plant stuff as the good guys are going through.
Like I said, it's like tower defense.
And then, okay, so here's a part where I was kind of confused, because they kept having like these little short snippets where they were talking to these two dudes, where I guess I would check off the list of celebrity appearance, but I didn't know who they were. So, they're like, before this part, they asked them like their favorite game or something, and then like they had something about like their first game, and they had people talking about that, so I'm not sure if that's like a teaser for some sort of like arcadey, retro stuff coming to the Xbox One. And then this part, they're all like, if you could have a game hybrid of any game, and then they start talking about Turtles and Batman, and I got Ring. I was like, dude,
you mean like the little mid-commercial breaks or something?
Dude, you can't just be all like, oh, we're gonna have two dudes talking about this concept, and like, either not show gameplay or be like, oh, we're just joking, or this is totally not something we're working on. That I was so furious after that.
They were more asking people like their fantasy stuff or like questions things. It wasn't like an actual game.
I'm just saying, dude, I don't want to hear people talking about that at E3 actually show games. With Turtles.
Those were your TV celebrities, so what would they know?
Oh, I was furious. But then from that, we moved on to Project Spark, where at the end, you got to see that the Conquer asset is available in the game, but Conquer's not getting his own game, because Microsoft has absolutely no idea what to do with him.
No,
Rare in general at this point.
Sorry, Rare. That too.
they really they've just gotten the short end of the stick for like everything at this point, because really, what have they been able to do since Microsoft had them? So, I'm sorry, Rare. It was good while it lasted.
And it looks like they're taking all the stuff that was made in the beta for Project Spark to have more stuff available when it finally comes out.
Did you see the Flappy Bird clone?
I did not see that.
It was in there.
I saw your tweet, though. And then after that, we had this, I'm guessing a digital downloadable game that's called Ori and the Blind Forest. Very charming and heartwarming, and on the level of something like a rain or a flower from Microsoft, and it's very interesting.
Is it interesting?
Maybe. It seemed kind of...
I also got a very Disney vibe from it. I was like, this could be a plot from a Disney movie, even though there's no dialogue spoken.
Oh, I love Disney.
You didn't see the RPG?
Oh, what, the thingy?
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah, I saw it, because I saw the giant owl thing. And I was like, oh, the Last Guardian, but not. But, yeah.
Alright, and then after that, the rumors confirmed Halo Master Chief Collection, November 11th, Halos 1 through 4, in one disc, one set, whatever, something.
One disc, I think, because it's supposed to be
all the Halos in all the world.
Except
not all of them.
ODST, Halo
and Reach.
And Reach.
Except, oh yeah, okay, never
all
mind.
Side stuff.
The Master Chief ones.
Yes.
Dot.
Into the subtitle name.
Which, arguably, Reach begins the Master Chief Saga,
I'd
even though
agree.
he's not the hero of
Protagonist.
that one.
Yeah.
Whoops. Maybe they thought they'd release that as a part of the side quest collection.
The Halo Collection, Volume 2. Everything except Master Chief.
Basically. So Reach.
Wow.
You're welcome.
And then they talked about Halo Nightfall, which is a digital series that connects the story between Halos 4 and 5. Won't be included with it.
Well, they had to get it in there somehow, right?
And it'll come with,
much.
and it'll come with the beta for Halo 5 Guardians this fall.
There was a lot of that. Well, okay, we'll get to it in the wrap-up. What was disappointing about this was that it wasn't the remakes that were so rumored. There was some rumor that it was going to be, Halo 2 Anniversary. I guess that is getting remade in the same way that Halo 1 Anniversary was. But Halo 3 and 4 are just going to be presented in their original. What was with the gamer score thing?
I don't
The numbers
know,
seem
dude.
ridiculous now because they just said, 4,000 gamer score.
Trioptical 4,000? I can do so much with that.
To the lapsed fan, to the mainstream person watching on TV, that's like, is that a lot?
Maybe.
Actually,
They had to say that's a lot.
I guess it'd be another thing to point out was that they did it was the return of the Microsoft cheering section. Yeah.
I also found it funny that their
The globe
wristband seems to light up when they were supposed to applaud. So I was like, that's a good idea, Microsoft. So now people know. Like, oh, it's time.
Now we'll know when we're supposed to clap.
Yeah.
So that is essentially the Xbox One lineup until the end of the year, because then, what's the dude's name?
Phil Spencer.
I was about to call him the other guy that left. I was like, it's not that guy. Phil Spencer came back on, and then he's like, okay, we're going to show some games for 2015 and beyond, on. And so they showed this, it looks like a very Deadlight game called Inside. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, wasn't it from the Limbo team?
Yes, it's from Playdead.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it had a really aesthetic that looked but to me it looked like very similar to Deadlight, because it's like side-scrolling and jumping. Anyway, it's called Inside, and it's got some child boy and blah, blah, blah. And then you had
he was getting chased.
the ID at Xbox guy come out, talk about indie games, blah, blah, and they showed a bunch of them. I typed them all out, but they were so brief that,
there was one that looked like an old school cartoony
Yeah.
thing. That looks
that
kind
one-
of cool. I was like,
that one was
Cup something?
Splash Dash.
it's
Wait, what?
from, like,
Oh,
Cuphead
Cuphead.
or something.
Yeah.
That one looked cool.
Like,
I was like,
that's
oh man,
cool.
that is
That
a
looks
cool
good.
art style. And then after the there's also Mighty Number 9 was in there. I was like, yay!
Concept.
You know what would have been more awesome? Mega Man Legends 3.
And then after that, there was a CG trailer for a game, and then I was sitting there thinking, okay, what's this? At first I was like, this is kind of ripped off of Beyond Two Souls, because it's a lady talking to some therapist about her experiences or whatever. Then slowly but surely, it's like, oh, my experiences have been in tombs, and I've been raiding them, and I've got a crossbow, and I was like, Tomb Raider?
You could have figured that out based on the fact that she had the bow and everything. Because as soon as I saw the thing, I was like, oh,
Well,
this
as soon
is
as
Tomb Raider. And I haven't even played the game, so...
I don't know. Last year, everything that had a bow in it, you called Tomb Raider.
Well,
Then you would have been
no, but
wrong
that's not, I'm
most
just
of the time.
saying, like, the way it was set up, it seemed very Tomb Raider, and then I saw it was kind of like a lady under the hood, and you can see the red hair, kind of. I was like, this is a Tomb Raider game. It was pretty easy to tell. I don't know how you missed that
RPG.
from all the subtle clues.
Sure it was.
But you guys...
Whatever. I knew it from all the flashbacks. I was like, hey, I kind of did that thing with the ice pick to climb the thingy, and then all the dudes that she's killing. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
So it's called Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yep.
I'm guessing it's probably not exclusive, but we'll see.
Probably not.
It's not.
It also means it's not coming out this year.
Because if it was exclusive, they would have said so.
It's sure to.
But then another qualm with all the stuff, or a lot of the stuff they showed was, oh, there's no gameplay. It was just, here's a CG trailer. Next year. So, yeah. And then Witcher 3, some gameplay. Looks good. Even on Xbox One. Oh! Tracking a griffin and then taking it down.
I was about to say, griffins don't look like that. They're much more majestic.
Not in the world of The Witcher.
It was sort of, yeah, it did throw me at the beginning when they said, oh, you're trained to hunt monsters from birth. And then it's a griffin. Like, griffins are monsters?
Yeah, I know.
It just, yeah, you don't think of them as that.
They seem so
Until they're attacking you.
It seemed all not majestic and monstery, and I was like, what's going on here? This is not my image of a griffin.
Oh. And then, Killer Instinct was shown. Or not shown, I'm sorry, but the dude that...
shown.
The logo was shown, and then, like, the dude that worked on it came out. Then they showed a new, I guess, reboot of Phantom Dust? I don't know. But back in the day, on Xbox One Duke Edition, Phantom Dust was an Xbox exclusive, so maybe reboot or just a new version. We'll see.
It's like a third-person camera fighting game? Was it?
Oh, it's a fighting?
It was, like, card-based,
It was card-based?
Yeah.
Really?
It was, like, still third person, and, like, you did stuff, but it was all based on your, like, deck, so it's like a deck-building type situation.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, Amazon Games tweeted out that it was a remake of the first Phantom Dust.
Okay. So, I will get back to that game when we talk about another game coming up, because we only got 3 left. So next they showed The Division, and it still looks amazing, and I got the thingies, and I was like, oh! So yeah.
I think that was the game I was talking
Still,
about.
In your H spot?
Oh yeah, all up in it.
Yeah, I think that was the game I was trying to recall,
yes!
but I couldn't remember the name of it. I was like, I know it starts with a V, so there is that. But yeah, I like the map thing that they had that he called up. He's like, check your map, and it just like popped up on it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of awesome.
The only thing I think is weird about that game is how, like, the enemies that don't have armor have, like, health bars, and, like, they take more than one shot to kill, or, like, they take multiple shots to kill, and when it's like, when I'm wearing clothes and they're wearing clothes, and they should be as easy to kill as I am.
Well, you don't die from one shot either.
Because they had, like, that really ridiculous grenade to take out the last dude, and it's like, that seems like overkill.
Also, our multiplayer...
Maybe he's a robot.
Our multiplayer sounds like that.
The future, or some alternate... Or whatever. Their technology is like way more advanced or something. And
maybe the whole game takes place in VR. I mean, how did they bring up that? It showed that scene with the people getting on the train.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Is the data just in the air?
Yes.
I think it was the same thing with the map. It's like you analyze the data and it pops up and it's like, oh, it's like the Batcave magically tells you this is what happened. The last train out.
The computer does that, not the cave itself.
I mean, the Bat computer, not the Bat game.
That would be weird. My God, the cave is sentient. It's happening.
So yeah, and then next thing that was pretty cool because it's like the dude from Platinum Games came out and he's like, oh, we're working on a new game, and it's like only on Xbox One, and then you see it and it's this game called Scalebound. It's got combat and dragons or something and stuff. It looks interesting.
Or it did until I realized it was Xbox exclusive and not Devil May Cry.
Wow.
I was like, well, I'm disappointed now. Because he looked all like Dante and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, a new DMC! And then it was not. So. Way to go.
So you think that's going to be like a Monster Hunter plus Titanfall, except
it's funny. Titanfall. I said that to RPG after we were talking about it, and like we started the call. I was like, that to me looked like a bit like Monster Hunter. Like it might be some sort of Monster Hunter type deal going on there. But then he was like, well, on the surface it might, but I think it'd still be a combat actiony game like Devil May Cry. So we'll see.
I think it's going to be more like along the lines of Bayonetta or something. It's not. It doesn't seem like it'll be Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be like purely Monster Hunter to where it's like you're getting all these ingredients and crafting and grinding. I think it'll like maybe have like a co-op section, but like outside of that, it won't be very Monster Hunter-y.
Because he even did the little transformation thingy with the devil trigger.
Oh, yeah. He turned into like
so disappointed.
By the power of Grayskull!
Basically. It just made me so sad.
And that's why it's called Scalebound, because you're tied to your dragon thingy and you have its powers, maybe.
Yeah, there's scales all over you.
It's
that you can't take off, presumably.
I know, because Scalebound! Otherwise, it's false advertising. Well then, you lied to me, game. You lied to me.
And then the last game that they showed was Crackdown, which I know RPG just loved that one, so
Get me started.
I'm guessing super excited to play it. See, I really liked the first one, and then everybody was so down on the second one, I didn't play it, and then now there's a new one, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this, so. And then I saw a funny tweet, which was like, in a world where Saints Row 4 exists, I feel sorry for Crackdown or something. I thought that was funny.
Because I even saw people like, they were talking about the trailer, and there's like everything you can't do in the game is pretty much on this trailer, and it's probably true. Crackdown.
You don't think they'll let you level buildings in the game?
That's the other thing I thought about Trioptical. I was like, there's clearly no cause for alarm with collateral damage in the city, because they just took out a whole building.
Obviously, if the bad guy's on the top floor, the whole building is filled with bad guys. And all the buildings around it. So if we don't want to take those out, that's okay.
We should probably let Trioptical plan out operations for things.
I will be awesome at Crackdown then.
Like, Trioptical just
Were there
leveled
people
an
in
entire
there?
city for one guy. It's like,
Yes, but they were all bad.
It's like, I saw this one bad guy on the outskirts of the city, so that means the entire city is full with bad guys. So they all die.
It's sort of like I guess it's like the Death Star thing. They couldn't have been all bad.
Some of them were just workers trying to get benefits, man. They're just there for the insurance. They had
I mean, we know there's no janitors because they have droids. But, yeah. Administrators, come on. That's no moon. But it's pretty big. There's a lot of people on it.
Oh, but yeah, the point I was going to bring up about Phantom Dust, Scalebound, and Crackdown was like, that's what I said in the, I think the once or surprises or whatever was like, bringing back a long dormant franchise. I mean, Crackdown doesn't count because it's been on 360.
Yeah.
So you got Phantom Dust there, and then like, pulling or giving someone the money hat, so they're like, here, Platinum Games, make us a game, and then they did it. So just more of that, and have them not be terrible games, and I might eventually be on the ship, going into the volcano or something,
Going into the volcano? That doesn't really reassure me at all.
That's a very magical ship RPG. It might not even exist.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, my thing is, with this conference, it's one of those things where it's like, it didn't convince me to buy an Xbox One, but it's like, if I already had one, then it's like, I'd be like, oh, okay, I have something to play, kind of, because I already have an Xbox One. And even though this stuff is multi-platform, I don't have to buy a new console, so it's fine. But if I was like if they're trying to convince me to buy an Xbox One, then I'm just like, I'll wait for Sony's conference.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I came out of that and thought, well, Scalebound was basically the only thing that was something that was unexpected to me. I mean, the Platinum Games thing, that was rumored, but there was no rumors about what it was. So,
I'd heard about Phantom Dust, or heard rumors about Phantom Dust, and you talked about something about like Tomb Raider 2 on the podcast.
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, those aren't surprising. And then we already knew that Assassin's Creed Unity existed, so it wasn't like a giant reveal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's this year's version.
So Scalebound, Ori and the Black Forest, and Inside from Playdead. Other than those three games, everything it proved to me that they are not quite ready yet. They had a totally different strategy going into this.
I can't even wait for the knockout punch tonight. It's just going to be so good. I just can't wait to just gush all over it and then go to hang on and be like, just
what happened?
Just nice.
But yeah, it was the faithful had these high expectations. Oh, there's going to be Halo 5 footage. It's going to be Gears of War. Everything that we love about Xbox is going to be here. because they're in it to win it, and they've said it's going to be games. And while that was true, most of the stuff is coming out on other platforms. All they really had was those exclusive DLCs.
Yeah, and like the games, they weren't brand new games you've never seen anywhere else in your life.
Right.
Exclusive world premiere.
And when they were world premieres, it was, the trailer for Tomb Raider included no information about the game. All we know is that Lara Croft is in it. Apparently she didn't die in the first game. Because I haven't finished it yet. She's going through counseling, so I think maybe there's a realistic angle in Tomb Raider now. Like, yeah, the things I've seen, man. Dinosaurs.
That's kind of one of the...
There are no dinosaurs.
There could be. There could be.
There are dinosaurs in Tomb Raider.
Not the one that you're playing.
Well, okay, fine.
There could be.
Not in the reboot.
I think, I kind of like the direction I've seen that they're going with the series, because before it seemed like really fan servicey, which is part of the reason why I didn't really play the Tomb Raider series. But it's like with the reboot, it seems like they're trying to take it to a more like realistic and more like a grittier kind of thing instead of just being like, hey,
Lara Croft is totally on my list of video game characters I would not F with because she will kill you. The new version is like cold-blooded killer, ice cold killer, just bam, splat in your face. Or stab with my ice pick. Or with the crossbow from like 1,000 yards away. It's like, oh my gosh, Lara Croft, you're so dangerous and killer. What did they do to you?
So I kind of like that. Now it's less about find a new cheat, and now more about following her story to becoming the Tomb Raider. So
yeah, like what RPG says, that's entirely correct. They didn't show anything. If you're on board with PlayStation and not on board with Xbox, you still basically have very few reasons to jump on board Xbox. Sunset Overdrive, I think, personally, is what I'm most excited about. But everything else, I have a system for those.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're ready yet, because they couldn't have been. They didn't have time. They were betting on something entirely different. So they have to go out and say, hey, third parties, exclusive, come on, exclusive me. And they're like, well, we can't because, PS4, killing you guys. Here's some DLC that we can give you a little bit of time so you can be first on DLC. You like that, right? Fine, okay, we'll take it.
But it's true, though. It's like most of their tags are just like DLC exclusively first, but it's not like exclusive DLC or anything. It's like you're still going to get it eventually on the other console that it's coming to. So it's like, well, then I can wait. I mean, I won't die because I don't have DLC on the first day, so whatever.
The other thing was the indie showcase. While it was there, it was still very different from the attitude that you see from PlayStation's indie showcase. First of all, I guess PlayStation feels more genuine for some reason. Phil Spencer comes out and he's got smirk and he's got the T-shirt, and then the indie showcase, no indie developers here. It's just montage.
They didn't bring anyone out on stage.
Yeah,
talk about
montages of games just feels like a very corporate thing to do. Indies aren't doing that most of the time because they only have one game in development. But even if that wasn't the case, it felt very impersonal, which is not what indie games feel like. And so, that indie montage, the only thing I remember was seeing that one game that looked like old school
Disney cartoon.
Warner Brothers, Disney animation. Like, oh, what's that one called? Cuphead. And then I missed the next 3 because I was thinking about that one.
It's true.
Overall, not. There are things to be excited if you're on board with Xbox already. But if not, I don't know what you saw.
Yeah, and then at the end they had a closing montage with all the logos, and there's a Gears cog.
Which I'm
I was like,
surprised.
I didn't really want to see that. That kind of just put
one
a
more thing.
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting. For them to be like, wait, one more thing before we go, but then they didn't do it. So I was actually kind of surprised about that. But I guess
I'm not sure about this future of Xbox they just communicated to us today. It seems very, like Gamer was talking, there's sort of apologetic. It's like, oh, we're humble now. We're humble. Thank you. And you are making the future of Xbox. Like, well, the problem with that is you can never surprise us then because you're only listening to what we want.
Well, Tropical, it's not entirely bad because I almost tweeted like, if you want to give me what I want, then you will make a new Jet Set Radio feature or something. So hashtag Microsoft, hashtag Xbox 3, and
what about what I want? The $150 Xbox bundled with other things.
Yeah, about that.
Available now.
And maybe we can all get what we want when we say, you know what, we're not going to buy it until you give it. So yeah.
But then everybody there would have probably got a free one, and then you would have been all like, well, how's that fair? So, it's like, if you all look under your seats.
That's what you
actually,
do
that's
when
an
you're
interesting
ahead.
Point. That's an interesting point, is there's, like, absolutely nothing Xbox 360.
Oh, yeah. Abandoned, just like the first one.
So it looks like they're going to take are cutting the cord for the new Sun.
Well, that's why I told you,
weird thing to
do. When you were watching on your 360, and I was like, well, what's that? Because I knew Microsoft forgot about it. So, I'm not surprised about that at all. So.
And then for my summary, I tweeted, I'd say 3 out of 5. No Kinect hype train derail, but not enough brand new stuff and nothing that wowed me now for Get React. Oh, yeah, that wowed me. So, yeah.
It was just better than last year, is all they had. So, good job with that.
All right, so we are currently less than 10 minutes away from the EA press conference, so I guess we might be coming back and doing another Get Reactions after that, because, delicious. BioWare, yes! Sorry. How do you get it out of the system?
Don't get yourself too excited, because...
I know, I was overly excited for Microsoft, and they kind of didn't. So hopefully
that was surprising. That's what got us talking. They did not surprise us.
And they totally just ejected on 360 support, so, or at least forward facing. Cause there's nothing you have your huge install base, and it's
they probably They probably realized that at this point,
nothing for you.
Yeah.
It's they still got Destiny and WoW. I'm trying to think because they're usually they have first party games their fans cling to, and it's Destiny's third party and whatever their third. I guess Ubisoft and EA with Assassin's Creed and Battlefield, Call of Duty, blah blah. But the full holders of the platform have kind of abandoned the ship. So yeah,
it's sort of eerie how similar it is to the PlayStation 3 stuff all those years ago. PlayStation 3, it seemed like, we're PlayStation, so we can rely on third parties. And so at the PlayStation 3 reveal, it was things like Devil May Cry, Virtua Fighter. Was Resident Evil there? I don't remember. But, they were the big name franchises that they were talking about. And then slowly over time, all of them became multi-platform. But in the beginning, you would think, oh man, PlayStation 3 is going to be awesome. Look at all the games it has. And then they announced the price, and just all that stuff sort of happened. And Microsoft, as I've said many times before, they seem to go the way that PlayStation has in the previous generation. So this generation, they were counting on, hey, we're the biggest brand in gaming. Third parties, we don't really need first parties. So they, closed all those last generation. And, it's sort of turning out the same.
All right, with that, we will sign off here. So, we'll be checking back in on the day as more conferences come and we have our reactions to them. And then late at night, when Sona's been gone and stuff, it's Google Hangout time. It'll be totally awesome and stuff, or not.
Touching myself during the Sony one to do it.
What?
Is what I'm imagining is going to happen. So,
okay, so yeah.
Yay, Sony.
TMI.
Is it though? Because you're all going to be doing it. Don't act like you're good. Don't act like you're not.
Thanks for listening, and until you see from us again, we're now signing off.